welcome to another episode of In the City con Christi, where we continue to meet the amazing people and businesses that make up the greatest place to live, work, learn, and play, Doral. Today we have one of our newest businesses in Doral. It's quite the hype lately in Doral. You've probably heard of it. Raising Cane's is with us here today. And with me I have CJ and Deja. CJ is the area leader of restaurants, and Deja is the area leader of marketing. Welcome to In the City con Christi. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So Raising Cane's has been all the craze in Doral lately. You go by there and the line is always pretty long. You guys are fast though, which is great. But let's learn a little bit about Raising Cane's. Why the brand chose Doral? What has been your so far impression of the market in Doral? How was it opening up the business here? And I'd love to hear a little bit about Raising Cane's culture and how it came up. I've heard great things.
Yeah. So Christi, listen, we are really excited to be in the city of Doral. And I think the city is happy we are here. We opened up in Doral. I mean, Doral is one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Florida right now. Very diverse group of people that live here. We have a diverse culture within our restaurant, so it really matches the city itself. Opening up this restaurant has been amazing. We started with Homestead down south, and we've layered in some other restaurants. This one in particular is really special for us because we usually don't have this kind of retention with our customers. There's always a lot of excitement. It's a new market. So there's a ton of excitement for customers. They come from all different areas of Florida and South Florida to come and enjoy our chicken finger meals. But this one's retaining. And I think it's due to the locals, right? The locals are coming back. They're enjoying their experience. Obviously, our restaurant team there is doing a fantastic job. Our restaurant leader there, Noelia Vargas, who's a Miami local, she hired a fantastic team, a diverse team. She's retained a lot of them, and she's well on her way developing that team. So I think it fits in well with the community. We've been surprised by the outcome and by the volume that we're doing. The customers that come in are fantastic. I mean, we have diverse group of customers such as families we have coming in, the local high schools. We get packed from 2 to 4 p.m. with all of our high school kids. Late night, we get a different crowd. During lunch, we have that business crowd that comes in. So it's a diverse group that we're seeing in our restaurant, and it's been fantastic for us.
Awesome. Talk to us a little bit about Raising Cane's. Where did
Sure.
it come from? What's the background? And I've heard that, I mean, it grew really fast, right? I mean, it's pretty new franchise. Or not
Yeah,
franchise,
so
a company, because you guys are not franchise.
We're not. We're all company-owned restaurants. Todd keeps it very close. He cares about our crew more than anything, and it shows in everything that we do. Listen, we started on August 28th back in 1996 at the gates of LSU. Todd opened up that first restaurant. I'd love to share the story. It's one of my favorite to tell. Todd had a dream. He wanted to open up the best chicken finger restaurant all over the world. So in order to do that, he had to get capital, to open up that first restaurant. He worked a couple high-paying, dangerous jobs. He was a Boilermaker. He was a sockeye fisherman, a deep-sea fisherman.
Wow.
He camped out on the frozen tundra in Alaska, waiting for a ship. I mean, all this is true. It almost sounds unbelievable, but it is. And finally, he had enough revenue to open up his first restaurant, which we did. But when he tried to get loans, they denied him on loans. They said, "Listen, there's no way." Banks told him, "You can't open up a chicken finger restaurant. You have to serve more than chicken fingers." He was undeterred, which is really cool. He could have turned back and said, "Yeah, maybe you're right. We can't just serve chicken fingers in a restaurant." And to this day, I mean, you can see our success. 760 plus restaurants. We're on task to open up 100 restaurants this year. 2024, which would be our best year yet since we opened. We have 150,000 employees that work for us. It's so exciting. It's an exciting time for us. It's exciting for, Deja and I to be with the brand. It's just a great company.
That's awesome. I had heard that it was a very interesting story that kind of happened. And I was just saying before we started that I was really surprised when I walked in. Like, I had heard it was just a chicken finger restaurant. And I walked in, I was like, this is just chicken fingers. There's like not even like a dessert after we were just talking about. It's like after you were kind of on something sweet. But the bread is amazing. I mean, I think that's like, I mean, I probably shouldn't eat it, but the bread is amazing. And then you want to have more than one piece when you come in. And really the chicken is just really good. You can tell that it's good product, that it's fresh, and you're getting the actual chicken, not just breading. So I think we really enjoyed it. I mean, I think the first week that you guys opened, we went like 3 times. Our staff, it was one day that we were driving and we're like, oh my God, what are we going to have for lunch? We were running around and everybody looked at each other. I was like, you guys see Raising Cane's one more time. I'm like, we are not going to Raising Cane's today. But really we had it like 3-4 times in the first couple weeks, the first weeks that you opened. So it's been very enjoyable, and it's great to see a success story like that, and that he's kept it close and takes care of the employees. What's the culture within the community you come into? So, what is it that people can expect from Raising Cane's? Our schools, our students are very active. Other companies have done family nights and things like that because they try and raise funds for their PTAs, for their graduations. What can we expect from Raising Cane's in being community partners?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let Deja expand a little bit more on that, but we are all in on ACI, what we call ACI. It's active community involvement. We are very engaged. We have a higher budget in marketing than most companies do, and that's purposeful. We want to really engage and build relationships with everyone in our community. Do you want to speak to some of
Yeah, basically to piggyback off of some of the things CJ was saying. So we're becoming a national brand, but we always want to stay as a local restaurant. So we want you to come into the restaurant and have that mom and pop feel. That's why if you're in any restaurant, I encourage you to look at some of the graphics that are on the walls because they're specifically handpicked to represent the cities that they're located in. So there's a lot of research and development that goes in prior to even opening the restaurant to making sure that we include the community. And not only that, but as a company, we've given over $100 million back to organizations. We've worked with over 100,000 different community partners, and we're coming in hoping to do the same thing for the city of Doral. So you mentioned those family nights, those fundraisers. We do all of that and more. So we're able to sponsor the local football team. We're able to host fundraisers for the cheerleading team to raise funds so that they can make it to their championships. We do swag donations. We have a really cool swag line. So if you ever get some Raising Cane's merch, definitely get some of that. And we want to be on site, right? We want to have that brand presence in the community. We want to support those who support us. And we want a chance to tell our brand story. We have a really cool brand story. I mean, even down to the name has a story. So
Which I was going to ask you next. That was actually my next question.
Yeah.
Where the name came from.
So he actually named it after his dog. So that's
his Labrador.
That's what I knew. So that's why I wanted you to share the story. And I saw when you go in that you have the picture of the dog, which I think changes. They were telling me, right?
Well, we're on Cane 3. It's been since 1996, so we've had some time. But we're on Cane 3 right now, and we go to meetings, and he brings them to the meetings and brings them up on stage. And
you always really know the difference because Cane 1 has sunglasses, right? So that's Cane 1. We're on Generation 3. Cane 3 is actually a female, so she'll wear a bandana. So that's how you always know who's who when we're looking at some of the marketing material.
You have something on the side of your shirt.
Yeah, we are all fry cooks and cashiers. Everyone, from top to bottom. We've all spent time in the kitchen. Part of our training is actually working back of house.
Right, so you've done everything. And
and it's a little bit more than that too. I mean, it's all about our culture. It's all about the crew member in our restaurant, in our organization. So each restaurant has a business unit team that supports the restaurant, right? So you have an operations leader, a marketing leader, a recruiting leader, a training leader. And we truly are there for the restaurant. So when I go into restaurants, my first thing that I do, it isn't to look at the restaurant, it's to go say hello to every one of those crew members, give them a fist bump, an elbow, a handshake, whatever it takes. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. A lot of people don't understand that kind of concept. But it's like we're not better than you. We are here to work alongside hip to hip with you to support you in any way, professionally or personally. And it really drives our culture and it drives our growth within the restaurants.
Awesome. I think that's amazing. And what a great story. What a great culture to create. And you see it in the attention that you get and the service you get when you come in. Tell us a little bit about the product, right?
Sure.
What's the focus? Obviously, it's the chicken finger, but what's the focus of the product?
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the food, right? So, you know, our
today, by the way. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Feeding us.
I'm glad
we're
your
sharing
team.
our one love.
Our team loves it here too.
Glad your team enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a very focused menu, as Deja spoke about. Our chicken is different. It's marinated. We spend our meticulous time looking at our food. We actually have a menu innovation team, believe it or not. When I learned that, I was floored. I was like, wow, we have a menu innovation team. It's like 6 or 7 people, but I was floored by that. And they look at every little detail every year. They look at the crop that the flour is coming from. We look at how many seconds we're keeping our chicken in the flour, how long we cook it for, the different color variations, the shape of the chicken. I mean, every detail is meticulously looked at because it's all we do. So we have to be great at it. Our toast is obviously phenomenal. You had our toast today. Yeah, we cook it. Exactly.
Balance of like salt and
Yeah.
There's a hint of garlic in there.
oh my god.
Yeah, we butter it perfectly. We toast it on our grill. The thing with our food is we don't hold it. So we have a system that we know exactly how much to cook when customers come in. So essentially, when we see customers come in, we start, dropping that chicken into the fryer, and we stage all of our food so that the food comes out as fresh as possible for our customers. We serve our coleslaw and our famous cane sauce, which the ingredients are actually a secret. We don't tell the recipe to our crew members. Only our managers can make our cane sauce, which is pretty cool. The recipe isn't written anywhere in the restaurant, so it's a secret. It's our claim to fame. I'm sure there's stuff online somewhere that try to get close, but it's our claim to fame. So very, very simple, focused menu, but we take great care and great pride in what we do, and we serve what's called the perfect box, right? So our boxes always have to be perfect. So we have an employee that always checks it, one of our crew members. If it's not perfect, it goes back to the kitchen, we fix it up, and we send it back out. So very detailed.
Well, I'm not sure if it was meant for this anyway either. I've actually only had your chicken fingers. You guys have sandwich too, though, which is
We do.
you do have
Chicken fingers in the sandwich.
the bread.
Yeah.
That's what I did today. I was like, I haven't had their sandwich, but I think it's the same thing. I took 2 pieces of bread with the chicken and with the sauce, closed it, and made it like that.
That's a cane tack.
Okay. I hadn't had it yet. I had only gone and I've only had the chicken fingers when I go. When we've got it, we've ordered the chicken fingers and that's what we eat. But I did that today and I was like, I wonder if it was meant to do this. Like the bread is also meant to do that. It's put it in
You can make it up as you go. That's what we want. That's what we
It
want.
was absolutely great. Tell me, was there any challenge? Were you guys involved in the actual build out and like development of the store? Were you guys brought in from the time you choose the location through opening, or did you come in after? Because my question is, was it challenging working with Doral? Has it been challenging this first couple of weeks and now months in managing the traffic and everything that's going on and with the city?
Yeah, so I came in a little bit after. To my knowledge, there wasn't a lot of challenges with Doral. There are some parts of Miami that are tougher, I think, with permitting and zoning, et cetera.
I feel like it happened really fast.
Yeah, it did, which is good, which shows Doral, we were able...
Boston market.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we were able to work quickly, get that building up in the time that we needed it. There really weren't any delays on that end. I'm sorry, what was the other question you had?
No, you're like, so the issue with the traffic.
Traffic, yeah.
I get some emails at the beginning of like, oh, well, who approved this? Traffic is backing up onto 36th Street. And it was, we're like, okay, relax. Just
Yeah.
we're going to work on it. We had police out there for a bit, kind of helping you all.
Yeah, so we have some traffic, right? People are...
Great for you guys.
Exactly. People are excited for us. We have our drive-through lane that comes right through our parking lot. And we do
goes
have...
fast.
We do have a parking lot. It moves pretty quick. The good news is we will be sharing that lot next door once that ABC goes up. So we'll have shared parking, and that problem will kind of go away. Until then, we do have some security on site just to help with alleviate some of the traffic concerns and all that. What's been interesting with Doral, though, is we have a lot of dine-in traffic. There's a lot. Everyone wants to eat in Doral. It's a lot more than we expected. Typically, I mean, we'll have... People want to get in the drive-through. Let's get in the drive-through. Convenience. They think it's a little bit quicker, right? Here, our dining room fills up constantly in Doral. So we love that because we want customers to come in and we want them to have that experience of Cane's. We want them to see the disco balls. We want them to hear the music that we play. We want them to interact with our friendly crew out front. There's a ton of nuances in our dining rooms, and I'll share one with y'all. We have disco balls in our dining room. Have you heard why?
No.
So when Todd was building the first Raising Cane's, there was a hole in the roof, and he didn't have a lot of money. He was scraping it all together to get that first one open, and he said, well, we don't have the money to patch that hole. Let's put a disco ball in it. So up went a disco ball in the hole, and now we have disco balls in our restaurants. And when you look around, there's a lot of little stories. The unfinished speakers, they don't have covers on them. The paint that doesn't quite go to the top, that's all purposeful. So Todd really wanted to keep that history and that all the little things that he went through when he built that, and you see it today alive in our restaurants.
Wow, that's awesome. Those are great stories, and such a great success story of perseverance and dedication, and really having a vision and a dream to do something, even though maybe people don't know would never work, and it now multiplying in communities where people can make memories in this restaurant. So
absolutely,
such a great way to share a new business that's in our community that people are definitely enjoying. And then now we know that you have a dedication to the communities you're serving, right? What we can do to strengthen those relationships, and people know that they can come in and say, hey, I'm hosting a fundraiser for my family. for my son's football game or whatever it is, and that they can count on a business in the community to help them get to their next step.
Absolutely.
So we're really, really proud to have you guys here. Tell us one last thing of what do you want people to know about the brand? Like, what is something really cool? One last thing that you think sets you apart from some other restaurant or place when people are choosing a new place to try or somewhere to make like family memories?
Sure. It's easy. It's our culture. I've only worked for a couple of companies in the last 20 years, and culture is it's not something that's given. It's something that not everyone has, not every company has it, not every company embraces it. So to have that culture in our restaurants, to have Todd that truly believes that crew is everything, that we're all crew, we're all fry cooks and cashiers, and it's lived. Now that's the difference, right? So you can feel it and see it from the top all the way down, to our crew members. It's lived. It's not just talked about. It's something that's real. It's felt. And every day, we go through it, and it's really what sets us apart. And, it takes time. When I started with the brand, I heard all these wonderful things, and I'm like, this sounds amazing. This sounds like the best place to work, and then you work for a month or two, and it's kind of like falling in love. You don't get it right away, but one day it just hits you, and you're like, I'm in love with Cane's. I can feel the culture now because of everything that is cascaded down from Todd and AJ to our teams.
That's awesome. Well, there's a common theme in our community. This year for me, it's been about identifying Doral's identity.
Sure.
Right. It's like, what is wrong there? We just celebrated 20 years incorporated. The community has been around for a long time, from when Doris and Alfred Cascal were founders, created the Doral Resort, where the name Doral comes from Doris and Alfred, the two names together, Doral. And so we, as a city, though, just celebrated 20 years incorporated. I'm the third mayor we've had and first female mayor. And so I was like, we're kind of like now adults, right? As a community, what is our identity? What do we want to be known for? And there's a common theme that keeps coming back in the businesses that, I talk to that decide whether they're opening up in Doral, in the people of Doral. It's like, which is what I call a social family. It's a social family. We're all family somehow, and we're a big city but feel like a small community. Everyone here knows each other, whether it's within your school, your business, the industry you're in, restaurants like yours where people come and is that, I think that's where you're getting that dine-in culture, right? People want to spend time with their family.
Sure.
They have that extra, that ability to have some extra time to sit in the restaurant and enjoy time with family. And the common denominator for me is family. We all come back to family. We're such a family-oriented community. A lot of what we do is surrounds the family. Mm-hmm. And so if I could describe, something you'll get from us and Doral and the support of the community, it's Doral family. So
Wonderful.
really excited to have you as part of the Doral family. Thank you for choosing Doral. We look forward to many years of success for raising canes and being able to enjoy our great chicken. Our doors are open here to be able to be good partners and really celebrate what you're doing in the community. Thank you for accepting to be on our podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Us today for lunch. It was delicious. And you will definitely see us around under the disco balls.
Thanks, Christy. We appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. Thank you very much for joining us for Within the City con Christi, where we continue to meet the incredible people that make up the greatest place to live, work, learn, and play. Doral.